Welcome back to the Conference USA Tip-Off Show. I'm John Schriffen, pleased to be joined by North Texas women's basketball coach, Jaylee Mitchell. And Coach, before we get into your team, I love your story. You're a former player at North Texas. When you were first announced as the head coach for the women's team, you were very emotional. And now here you are entering your 8th season. What has this journey been like for you?
It's been an incredible journey. You know, like you said, I was really, I think, overwhelmed at that initial press conference with a lot of emotions. You know, this place has been home for me for a really long time. And, you know, who knew what the future would bring, but now 8 years later, it's been pretty amazing. And, you know, coached a lot of great players, had great administrative and donor and fan support, and just really excited for the future of North Texas women's basketball.
Last season, you went to the WNIT for the first time since you were a player back in 2002. What was that experience like for your team?
Well, I wish the outcome would have been different, but the experience of getting back to postseason play is always, you know, a great feeling, especially, you know, having been 20 years removed. It's different as a coach than as a player, that's for sure. But at the same time, truly exciting and something that we want to continue to build on going forward.
All right, let's dig into your team. In the preseason poll, you're picked to finish 5th. What are your expectations for this year's team?
Always top 4 for me. You know, I think that's something we talk about as a team every single year. You know, we've been, and to have reached that the last 2 years, I know numerically the COVID year didn't work out for us to actually get that by, but last year, you know, to accomplish that was huge for us, and we got a semifinal appearance out of it, and, you know, was one possession away from playing for a championship. So we are definitely hungry for more, and we're excited about this season, even though we've lost a few players. We have a couple starters returning, 9 new faces, but the chemistry is building and growing every single day, and this group's excited and ready to go. So, you know, we're a few weeks away from tip, and, you know, I feel like it came very fast, but at the same time, you know, we're all ready and looking forward to this season.
Tell us about some of the key returners. I guess it all starts with Quincy Noble, who really is one of the best players in the conference.
Yeah, for sure, and she has been, you know, since she got here, and so, you know, it's really no surprise for her to be preseason all-conference. At the same time, I mean, this kid, she works her butt off, you know, and she wants to be that and more. She's been our leading scorer the past couple of years, and, you know, she just stays in the gym. She stays hungry. She continues to work on her craft and get better in those areas that really show up during the season that, you know, will make her an overall better player. And so I think with her returning, with Jalen Mallard returning, those are our 2 returning starters. We also have true freshmen Kendall Magruder and Tamisha Lampkin, who's a junior this season. You know, she's playing her best basketball since she's been here, you know, and so I'm looking forward to, you know, those 4 kind of being, I guess, the foundation, essentially. We also have Maddie Cleary and Anaya Johnson returning, but 6 returners, you know, and like I said, 9 new faces. So, but just really, I think that core group, that 6 group of those 6 returners have done a great job of sharing that foundation and the culture of, you know, how we play and what we do, and they make sure that every day they're bringing it, and so everybody's feeding off of them. So it's been a joy, really, to work with them. You didn't really know what to expect with that limited amount of returners, but it's been awesome.
With all these new faces, how would you compare the talent you have this season with teams you've had in the past, and how has this team gelled early on?
Well, we had the fortunate opportunity to have a foreign tour this past summer. We went to Puerto Rico, so we got 10 days of full practice. We got a couple of games there, and so we actually got a chance to grow early, you know, get to know each other better, build some chemistry, and I think that was extremely helpful for us. And, you know, talent-wise, I think we stack up to any team that I've coached in the past, and we're not as experienced, but at the same time, we're definitely talented. And I think our freshmen even that have come in, they've come in with a chip on their shoulder. They've come in, you wouldn't tell by their work ethic, you couldn't tell that they didn't have any experience. You really wouldn't know the difference if you came in and watched our practice. So really excited about that group and what they've brought to the table.
From those early games that you played in Puerto Rico, what would you say right now is the strength of this team?
Well, we've always been a team that tried to play fast, and so this group is really fast. I'll give them that. But they're also very versatile. I say that we're probably not as big as we've been in the past, but we're a lot more versatile where we can go big, we can go small. So a lot of different opportunities for this group.
Nice. Ready to talk some schedule?
Sure.
All right, let's talk about your early non-conference matchups, some of the games you're looking forward to, and then some of the games you really want to circle in your schedule in conference play.
Yeah, well, as far as, challenging, I think Stephen F. Austin is a team that is constantly, winning their league and going to their conference tournament, going to the NCAA tournament, or playing some type of postseason play. And so we get to have them. We'll host them at home this year and return there next year. But I'm looking forward to that one. Just, it's early and for both teams, and we'll see where we are. But I think it's a great time of year, and also just a great matchup. Two really competitive coaches and players, two talented teams, as well as, there's Wichita State, and then SMU, who's always been a rival, whether in conference or out of conference for us. And I want to say we've played each other almost 40 years now. So that's always one on the calendar that everybody looks forward to. So I guess those would be the three. We're also hosting our own tournament for the first time over the Thanksgiving break, where we'll have a chance to host Louisiana, Lafayette, and Montana State, who's a team that gave us a hard time last year. Just a different style of play that we have to get ready for. We have to get ready for all types of styles. So just excited about those. Those are the ones that come to the top of my head.
Nice. Well, we are certainly excited to see what North Texas has to offer this season. Jaylee Mitchell, head coach for the women's basketball team. Good luck getting back to the postseason this year.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Stay with us. We will talk to the North Texas men's team when we come back after this. Welcome back to the Conference USA Tip-Off Show. I'm John Triffin, joined by North Texas men's basketball coach Grant McCaslin. And Coach, thanks for spending some time with us, because you are a very busy man. I saw you this offseason in Wichita at the TBT. I was calling those games. That was a fun atmosphere. The alumni team went on that run. What was that like for you watching as a coach from the stands?
Honestly, it was one of the weirdly enough, I know a lot of people are trying to figure out the TBT, but for me personally, it was literally one of the greatest experiences I've ever had being a part of a program, because it was finally like everything you'd poured your heart into, and it was like seeing some of your favorite people that you've ever done life with having an awesome experience playing basketball all in the same time within your program. It was amazing. I mean, Andre Shaw coached the team, that's our operations guy, and Clay Wilson's one of our GAs, helped coach it, and just those two guys did an unbelievable job, and they're behind the scenes and don't get many opportunities to do what they did, and just shows you the talent, I think, that's a part of our program. And everybody wants to talk about the head coach, but that was proof that there's so many more talented people than myself a part of this, which is awesome. And that's what was cool. And then the returners all coming back and being around our team in preparation for it was really a huge blessing, and honestly one of the greatest experiences I've ever had in college basketball, in basketball in general.
That's amazing. I mean, there's clearly a ton of buzz right now with North Texas. You coming off of a season where you set a school program record with 25 wins. How do you build off of that momentum that you started?
Well, it's built on things like the TBT. J.J. Murray, DJ Draper, who are a part of our program, who still live in this community, are huge pieces to believing that we can win at North Texas before anybody else. And, it just takes a lot of people to be great. But I think what's awesome about what we're building now is that people have an expectation that we're going to be good, and that there's an expectation on campus so that the crowds are more excited about what we're doing. And how we build on it, honestly, is just people are coming into our program, and that's a testament to I think the guys that are newcomers. They come here now thinking we win conference championships at North Texas. So the practices have that edge to it. When we first got here, we felt like we were trying to infuse so much belief in our team that we could do this. Now these guys come in believing we're going to do it. Now it's just about how do we do it and how do we do it together, and then how do we push that and put ourselves in position to win games and try to get in the NCAA tournament and do the things that are very, very difficult to do.
Well, it starts with defense. You guys led the nation with scoring defense, allowing under 56 points per game. Also, you led the nation with the slowest tempo in the country. What can we expect style-wise out of this year's team?
Well, we've got a tremendous coaching staff. Jareem Dallins moved on, but he was a big part of what we did. Matt Breyer, Coach Achoki, and Ross Hodge, and you know what he does with our defense. It's just, we've decided that every night you can win games with your defense. And last year we were the last undefeated team on the road in the country. Took great pride in that. Had the most wins in conference in school's history that we've had in 16 wins, and we did it with our defense. So I would anticipate our ability to play a little faster offensively, just because I think we have more depth with this team. More depth in the forward positions, more depth in their guard play, but we're always going to be anchored with our ability to defend in the half court.
You kind of had a short bench last season. How deep would you anticipate you being able to go this season? And then break down some of the guys you have coming back and some of the new guys coming in.
Yeah, well, honestly, it's just going to depend on how healthy we are. I mean, I think if we, in a perfect world, if our roster's healthy, I do think we could play up to 10 guys. But that's to be determined, honestly. But we're preparing to try to play faster, and it's not to try to prove a point, honestly, or to say that there needs to be that, because we felt like last year's team won because we kept our best defensive lineup on the court. This year, I honestly believe that our advantage is our depth at times, and so how do you create more opportunities to win games? When you have depth, you can apply more pressure defensively, you can put more pressure on people, and you can sub. So I just think our roster is more prepared to play faster, so I'm excited about that piece. The returners, Tyler Perry, Abu Usman, Reuben Jones, those three have the most experience and lead us. And when you have a returning point guard, 2 combo points, and then a returning big guy, that's great places to start. You kind of can bookend your roster. Some guys that I think have stepped up this spring, Aaron Scott and Summer, they've had an awesome offseason. And so going into this fall, Aaron Scott's really shown that he's ready to take the jump for us. He was an all-freshman team player, just like Reuben Jones was the year before. But we're gonna really anchor ourselves with Tyler and Abu as far as the returners are concerned. And then we got guys like Matthew Stone that are ready to step into more significant roles, I would anticipate this year. In regard to newcomers, we've got a lot of experience in the newcomers, which is fun. Kai Huntsberry, a guard, Tyree Edey, Jaden Martinez, Mulai, transfer from Dayton. It was just a lot of really great college experience, and I think that's how you win at our level, is you got to have experience. Those guys are ready to come in and play right away and make significant impacts.
I saw Reuben Jones had knee surgery this offseason. How is he doing health-wise, and when do you expect him to get him back?
Yeah, Reuben is made huge strides for us. I would anticipate him being able to play earlier than we had hoped. To put a timetable on it, it's hard right now just because we are right in the middle of his most important recovery time where we can kind of get him moving and see how he responds with his knee. But we're anticipating having him back in the non-conference, which I think is big.
Okay, nice. All right, finally wrapping up here, let's dig into the schedule. Walk me through the non-conference schedule, and what are the expectations you have for this year's team?
Yeah, non-conference schedule. We open up playing Southern Naz, which is dear to heart because we've got a guy named Andrew Hudeberg who used to be a GA for us and was on staff as a video guy. He's down there as an assistant. So we try to play guys that we have relationships with, but then the schedule gets difficult. We go to St. Mary's. We've got a home game against Fresno State. We've got 2 unique games on the road at neutral sites as a part of the Hall of Fame with Grand Canyon and UMass. And then we've got the tournament in the Bahamas, our MTE event. I mean, we're excited because we've always tried to stretch the limits with our non-conference schedule. It seems like the more difficult our non-conference schedule, the better we've played in conference. Scheduling's difficult with winning the way we've been able to. It's been difficult for us to find those quality opponents, but excited about the challenges we have in our non-conference.
Nice. We've seen some pretty big, bold predictions already on this Conference USA Tip-Off show. What goal do you have set for your squad?
I mean, it's always, we've been blessed to win 3 championships in the last 3 years, whether it be the regular season, the division, or the tournament. And I think that's what this group has come in with, the expectation that we put ourselves in position to win a conference championship. Now, there's a lot of good teams. I think the quality, everybody says it every year, is good, but I think the quality of teams that could actually win the league this year is as good as it's ever been. And so we're excited. I mean, I think it prepares you no matter what for that conference tournament, which is really the most important part of our year, and that's in March. So you try to play your best basketball in March, and I know the conference will be extremely difficult, but we're excited about the journey.
Grant McCaslin, head basketball coach for North Texas Mean Green. Appreciate you spending some time with us. Thanks.
Thanks, John.